Hello everyone, it has been a while, but I am back with a new build, and I'm so excited to finally be able to post this because I've been working on this for what feels like forever. This house was built for my best friend, Kylie, so if you want to hear more about that or the build itself, stay tuned for the speed build part because I will be doing a voiceover. And as always, please check out the description box because there's a ton of useful information such as decal codes. You will find build information on how much this costs, how much bedrooms, how much bathrooms it is. You will find credits of the amazing builders that I used hacks from. And you will also find a lot of useful information such as how to slow down this video because I know it's fast and hard to follow. I just want to make everyone's lives easier. So please check out the description box. And I will hope you guys enjoy the tour, and I will see you guys for the speed build. Bye! Hello everyone, welcome to the speed build portion of this video. I just want to say that if you watch my speed builds or just listen to my podcast type voiceovers or both, I really appreciate you. You guys are real ones and I really appreciate you supporting my channel. I always think it's really fun to talk about my build, and yeah, so I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for listening. So in the tour, I kind of said that I built this for my friend Kylie, and I guess I want to elaborate on that a little bit. So basically, I always wanted to build a Victorian house, but I just like never got around to it. But I knew her favorite house, like favorite style of house, was Victorian. So I was like, oh my gosh, like what if I built you a house, this Victorian style house for you on your plot, and it'll be like a win-win situation, you know? And obviously she agreed, and it just turned out really nice. I asked her like what her favorite, like I knew her favorite color was green, but I kind of just like asked her like what colors would you want on your exterior, and I showed her some like inspo pictures of like what I wanted to do and like all these different things, and she said that she wanted her colors to be like green and cream for like the exterior. So I was like, okay, I can do that. And I did a lot of like inspo pictures, like a lot of digging on Pinterest, like looking for kind of what kind of colors did they use a lot, what did they look like. And after like a lot of deleting houses, like I would just build houses like all the time, like, oh, that didn't work, I don't like how it looks. And I had to literally I went through so many houses, it took me forever. That was just a main part of my absence, was I was building, but I was just doing so many like rough draft houses, I like to call them. Like I was just building, I'm being like, oh, I don't like that, delete it. I don't like that, delete it. And I finally settled on this house. And this house is actually modeled after a house in Missouri, out of all places. But I thought it was pretty interesting. This house, I think, is kind of famous, although I couldn't really find any history on the house when I did more research on it. But if you want to look up the real, like, original house that this house is modeled after, it's called the 𝐕𝘺𝙁 house. And you'll notice that the house is actually like a dark blue, a light blue, and cream as a color scheme, or like a beige. And I kind of took those colors and I changed them so it's like a dark green, a light green, and a beige. And I thought it turned out perfectly, and I really loved this house. Like, even, besides the colors, it was just a really nice house that I really loved. So I really loved it. But I later was doing some more research and like digging through Pinterest, and found out that this green is actually very like era appropriate to like the Victorian era. Like this kind of shade of green probably would be called Shields green, which is kind of a tragic story about how the type of green killed people and was not good. So basically they had, in the Victorian era, they had this really popular green that looked a lot like this, and it was called Shields green, and it was very popular. It contained arsenic in it, which was very toxic, and would, it would make you get a rash, you would have like a lot of skin irritation, and you can have, like, people would get like a lot of skin problems if they wore it, or like there's a lot of toxic fumes in it if you put it in your wallpaper. But they would use this like in everything. They'd use it in wallpaper, they'd use it in paints, they'd use it in their clothing, like in their dyes, and it was just very widely popular. And they found out that it was very toxic, and that didn't even stop them from not using it. Like, they would still use it because it was just so popular, and they didn't really care about the side effects. They just kept wearing it. But eventually it started getting banned in a lot of places. They were like, nope, you guys can't use this. Like, this is toxic. And they eventually moved to a safe green, like a different type of green that did not use arsenic in it. So I guess that's good. We've come a long ways. But I just thought that was very interesting, and how this, I didn't really know this when I started this build, but how it ended up being kind of very appropriate for this build, which I thought was very fascinating. You will also notice that this house, has a lot of green in it. But also there's a lot of books in this house, and there's almost, I think, books in like every room, I want to say. But that's because my friend loves books. She loves reading, and she requested to have some type of like little library thing. So I had to deliver it. There's like a little office area with a ton of books, living room with a lot of books, all of it. It's just I just love it. I love books too. So it was just amazing. There's even books in the bathroom. If you want to read while you're on the toilet, you can totally do that. But I think it turned out amazing. She also didn't see this house until like yesterday. I like revealed it to her yesterday, but she did not see a single thing about this house pretty much. I actually gave her a sneak peek of the bathroom once, but that was about it. She didn't see anything else. and she really loved it. I was going to record her reaction, but my phone like didn't pick up the audio for some reason, so that's kind of sad, but I guess whatever, life moves on. But she'll actually have a house for role-playing now because she didn't really have one before, so she can go flaunt that house to anyone in public servers, and yeah, so I guess that's really fun. So while I was working on this house, I know in my minimalist house I did last time I posted, I said that I was never going to like move around the house again, and by that I mean like I would work in the living room and get like halfway down to the living room and then move to the kitchen and get like a little bit down out of the kitchen and then move to the bedroom. Like, I said I wasn't going to do that, and I was definitely a lot better in this house, but still not perfect. I kind of hate myself. I need to like stop doing that, but I think my ADD can't handle it sometimes. Like, I need to kind of move around, but it makes my life so much harder in the end because I spent like, this house would have been out earlier, but I probably spent another whole week contemplating everything I made in this house. Like, I was like, oh, well, I don't like the kitchen anymore. I don't like the living room anymore. I want to add more, but then I didn't know what to add. And then I kind of like, it was just a very toxic mind place to do that. For 2 weeks, I was kind of just like doing a ton of adding and all this stuff. And also money was a problem with this house, very much. Like, this house, I know everyone likes to make fun of how much this house is, and they're like, oh my gosh, this house is so expensive, and I know it is, but like, okay, most of it's a landscaping, but this house also is super detailed, so I think the house is around $700,000 interior and like with the exterior, but the landscaping is what makes it really expensive because some of those trees were $40,000, so I don't know, I feel like it was worth it though, but it was just a lot of money, and since I built this on my friend's plot, we had some money problems, and then she was a lower level and working at pizza delivery, so I had to like donate to her a lot, which you can only donate $50,000 a day to like other people. So that was a long process of like doing that, and I don't know, it was just a lot of process of money wise, and so eventually I had to say no, I'm done with this house. Like, I can add like more to the backyard later, because you'll notice that the backyard's kind of plain looking, and I just didn't want to deal with it. I stared at this house way too long, and I started to like think about everything a little too deep, and yeah, the money was definitely a problem in this house that honestly I think, you know, it worked out well, but it was either going to be another whole week of waiting or uploading this video now, and it might not be completely how I want it, but that's okay. Because I think I am a perfectionist at heart, and everything I do, like every little thing I do, just drives me nuts. And if you're watching the speed build, you will notice that this wallpaper, I changed the wallpaper about 1,000 times. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, the wallpaper changes 100 times. Like, you might be watching it and it might be like this one wallpaper, and then, you know, it's changes to the next one, and then a few minutes later it changes to the next one, and you're like, what the heck? Yeah, that's because I was so indecisive. I kept like regretting everything I did in that house, but I really loved it. But like I said, I really enjoyed this whole house. Like, just doing Victorian houses to begin with was just like really fun. Like, the amount of detail that was like you need to do in a Victorian house, like, it was just so fun, and like researching it was so fun. I really loved it, so I really want to do another one very soon, so maybe you'll see another one soon. But right now I'm planning my next few builds. I'm gonna do something more simpler than this house. I'm probably gonna do like a suburban house because I haven't done one. I have like a ton of houses, but I don't have a suburban house, so I'm going to probably like do just a simple kind of suburban house, get it out there, and then I'm already planning my Christmas houses, which it's not even Halloween yet, but I know like this house I originally wanted it to be more fallish, more Halloweenish kind of, but I didn't want it to be like completely Halloweenish, but you know, it's more fallish, and it's still fall, but I ended up, because it took me forever, that it didn't really fit into that time slot. I mean, it's still fall, but you know how like you kind of have to be early to a lot of things, and just wasn't cutting it for me. Just didn't get there in time. So I really tried to plan my Christmas stuff and get all that done. A lot of people if you watch my voiceover and my minimalist modern one would know that fall is always the busiest time for me, just because, school starts back up and you're kind of getting into the swing of things. It's kind of like a chaotic. I'm trying to balance like how much schoolwork I have, how can I actually do this. And I could have definitely got this house out earlier, but like I said, I was having a lot of problems with money, because I had to do 50,000 every day, or donating, or actually working, or it was just a lot. But yeah, and also my friend didn't have the large plot game pass at the beginning, so I actually ran out of plot data really fast, and I didn't know that large plot gives you 50% more of data size, so that was honestly a blessing. That I thought I was going to have to spend all this money on the, making more plot data, but that did not happen because large plot saved my life. So luckily for that, that was so nice to not have to do a ton of other buying things. But yeah, so yeah, this plot was kind of a lot, but I would have gotten this done earlier if I didn't have the money problems or have kind of a builder's block thing going on. But it was nice. But yeah, it's really nice. I haven't had a voiceover in so long that I've actually been to school for a long time now. We have midterms and stuff, so the fact that I'm almost halfway through a semester and I haven't posted anything, it's kind of sad, but we are here now. So if you guys have been following me, you guys know that I am going to school for interior design. So fitting, right? Well, this is how I found my love for interior design, is through BLOXBURG. So I'm forever grateful for that. But honestly, I think learning about it helps me a lot. I thought maybe for a while I'd get sick of it. I would get sick. I was doing too much interior design, building in BLOXBURG, doing my homework. I thought I was going to get overwhelmed. I'm oh my god, I'm literally going to hate this by the time I'm done with it, because there's so much. But, it balanced out. I never hated it. It just reaffirmed my love for interior design, which is amazing, and I'm so grateful for that. And I really do love my classes a lot, and I've learned a lot, and you'll probably start noticing that a lot more throughout my builds. And yeah, also I said that after I got back from vacation, which was in August, the beginning of August, that I was going to do a channel rebrand thing. And that hasn't happened yet because I wanted to post this video first. So everything after this will probably be more organized. I ran into some problems with this house as well, just because some of the things got corrupted, but I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna show people how to all the things that got cut out. I'm gonna kind of do a little speed build separately and just show the basics of how I did that. But that was really annoying because I really don't want to be missing clips anymore, and I kind of found a file system that makes me organized and I won't lose files anymore. But somehow this one didn't save because for whatever reason, I don't know if my storage was full, it just wouldn't save. So I'm gonna have to redo this one part, and it will probably be in part 2, but it's the what do you call it? The little turret? No, I don't know. The little circular part of this house that's on the exterior. I did that, but all of the windows and all of the actual detail on that part got removed. So I'm gonna have to redo that and show people kind of a little bit on how I got there. But yeah, that was really annoying. Hopefully that never happens again. I got a new recorder that I think is going to make my life so much easier. I already used it a little bit during this build, and it made my life so much easier. It shows me when it's actually recording. I can see how long it is. I can pause it when I am leaving, because before, if I was going to come back, go to the bathroom or something, and I was in the middle of a recording, I would have to just kind of leave it there and either start a new recording or just leave it there and have to edit it out later, and that kind of is annoying. So now I can actually pause it when I want to go get something or whatever. I can actually go pause it instead of just like walking away and having to edit out later, which is so nice. I actually really love it. It was definitely worth the investment. It's kind of expensive for what it is, but honestly I think it's worth it. Okay, now I feel like I talked a lot about the build. I will probably talk more about the build when I get to the interior, which will not be in this part of the build. It will probably be in like part 2 or 3. With that being said, I would like to tell like a little funny story that kind of happened to me like earlier this week, and it's not really funny, it's kind of annoying, but luckily it all worked out in the end, so it's kind of funny looking back at it now. But basically, for interior design, we have to have like these really like good laptops that can be able to support like all the programs we use, and it's like we have a school issued one that eventually it's going to be my own, but for now we're just using like these school issued ones that are like under the school, and they have all the programs built in it and whatever. But basically in my class we're learning how to do AutoCAD, and like so this whole semester we've been kind of learning how to do AutoCAD and going through like these projects and making out like layouts. And obviously if you're not an interior designer, I kind of know what AutoCAD is, but basically it's like the software that interior designers use to create layouts and stuff, so we're learning how to use that. And we were working on this like thing as a class, and basically it's like if you miss a day you're kind of behind and like you have to catch up. So I'm perfectly caught up, you know, but basically in class we're working on this like one part of like this floor plan thing, and my computer froze up and I was super mad about it. And I called my teacher. I'm like, I don't know what to do, because I tried like turning it off, and like at this point I didn't care if I lost all the things I did today, like in that class, because I kind of knew I was gonna lose all of my progress I did in class. But obviously that's unfortunate, but sometimes it's just annoying. It just happens. So I didn't save it, but I couldn't do anything about it. So we had to like close off the whole computer, like restart it all, do that. Still wasn't really working. Like this time it wasn't freezing, but when I restarted it, I opened it and tried to open AutoCAD, and it just like kept kicking me out of the app. Like I would click on it, it would like kind of say that it opened, but then just show me like the desktop screen, and I was like, what the heck is going on? Like this is not normal. But it has been doing this all week. It kind of does that a lot. So basically the whole past week it's been doing that. I had to kind of restart it many times, and eventually it would work, but it was just still happening all the time. So we couldn't figure it out, and she was like, okay, just go to like the tech support office and like get it figured out with them. Like they'll obviously know what to do because like they're tech support. So I go over there, and they're just like asking me all these, like, they're kind of being rude about it. And I get it to an extent, but still. They're just like, have you updated? When's the last time you updated it? I'm like, oh, last week. And they're like, you need to update it all the time. Like I told you I updated it like last week probably or something like that. I don't really remember, but definitely recently. And they're like, well, when's the last time you restarted it? And I was like, in class, I did it like 3 times because it wasn't working. Like the first time I did like 3 times. And they were like, okay, whatever, like I don't know if I believe you. So they made me do it again in there, which I guess it's good because you want to, you know, confirm that it's not an issue. And I was sitting there and I was like, please, 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 like don't work. I want to have like, I don't want it to work just for them, like because I don't know, like they were just kind of saying like how you need to restart it and restarting it will fix all the problems. I'm like, I know restarting it won't fix all the problems because it's been happening all week long, and kind of for a while it's been doing that, but especially worse this week. And I was like, what is going on? And they were just like, okay, well, it's not working, so we'll restart it again. And I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna restart it again, even though it didn't work. But you know, and sure enough, it didn't work again, so that was lovely. And then they were like going through the laptop trying to figure out what was wrong and like, you know, figure it all out. And they're like, well, oh, I see the problem, it's because you have all these screens open. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that button was there, but okay. And he's like, it's making your like thing all glitchy because you have all these screens open and it's really causing a lot of problems. And I was like, okay, I didn't know that button even existed. I don't know if I'm just like stupid or whatever. But then it just kept happening, and it wasn't a result of that, and they couldn't figure it out. Like the whole screen would go away. It was almost like when you click on an app, it would go to like almost like a different monitor kind of thing or a different screen, but I wasn't connected to another monitor or a different screen. So they were all really confused. Like I was confused, they were confused. They're like, I don't know what's going on. They did like a lot of trying to figure it out, go into settings, search up all these things. the taskbar wasn't there. They couldn't find it. They couldn't like move it. The laptop screen was like, apparently I thought it was normal, but apparently it wasn't. Like all of my things were on one side kind of. I thought that's just how it was built, but it wasn't apparently. So I don't know. And then they were like, well, did you mess with any settings? Like, what the heck is this? And I was like, no, like, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, why would I want to mess with that? And like, how would I get it that bad? I don't know. But they were like, well, I think you messed up some settings. And I'm like, I didn't. Like, I don't want to do that. But they were like, oh my God. Like, they kept figuring it out. It's like 40 minutes. And I was just sitting there trying to figure it all out. And they're like, they were just like, I don't know. Like, this is just so weird. I don't know what's going on with this. And I was like, well, I need to have it done. Like, I need to go to class and, like, get back, caught up and stuff. And so they just couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. And so eventually, at some point, they gave me a new computer. And they're like, I don't know what to do. Like, we're just going to save you all the time, and we're just going to give you a new computer. So I got a new computer, which is very nice. Like, obviously, like, who wouldn't want a new computer or whatever? And it works a lot better now, and, like, all this different stuff. So, like, that was all nice. And then I always felt really, like, happy because I was like, okay, at least I wasn't going crazy. Like, I don't know. I thought, like, I was really hoping, I didn't want to, like, have to get a new computer, but I was just like, I don't know. It feels nice to actually know that it wasn't just a restarting problem or an update problem. Like, they couldn't figure it out. So I got a new computer, which is very nice. And then they were apologizing and saying, like, oh, like, we never seen this before. Like, we were sorry for being kind of rude to you. Like, normally, like, 90% of the problems come from not restarting it. And I was like, yeah, but, like, whatever. Like, I mean, I don't know. But they're being kind of rude. But at least they apologized, It was nice. So then the next day, in order to get an AutoCAD, because AutoCAD is it's a very inexpensive program, and it's heavily guarded for that reason. And I can't get into AutoCAD unless you have, like, the server thing, like, so you can actually get into AutoCAD because the school pays for it. And I couldn't figure out the password because I don't remember it. Like, why would I remember that? Because we did it the first day of school. And I'm like, okay, well, my teacher, like, probably knows what it is, but she's teaching another class right now, so I'm not going to go, like, disturb her, and I have to leave and go home. But I need to go get this fixed. So I went back to the tech support, and I was like, hey, can you guys figure out my AutoCAD thing? Like, I don't remember what the password is. And they're like, your teacher should have done this for you. And I was like, she's actually teaching a class right now, so I don't really want to disturb her. And I was just, like, they were being kind of rude again. And I was like, I know my password to get into my account. I just don't know what the server name is or, like, any of the server passwords, like, to get into that account. And they were just, like, being like, well, I don't know, you should go, like, have your teacher figure it out. I'm like, well, she's teaching, I don't know, and I need it, like, now. And eventually, he pulled it up, found the password, I got in, all was good, so it doesn't really matter, I got it in, and I was very happy. And yeah, I guess it all worked out in the end, but that was just really annoying because they were just, like, every time I'd go there, they just, like, say that would, like, they would just, like, blame me or something, and I know, like, technology can be your fault, but I was like, chill. Like, this is not, like, I didn't do anything. I was just, like, I always know, like, I'm one of those people who, if I have a problem, I don't like to ask for help, so I will figure it out until I can't do it anymore. And so if I come to help, that something isn't going right. Like, I know, like, something goes wrong on your phone or something, like, always restart it, like, that's just, normally it does fix problems. But, like, when I come to people, and they don't obviously know this, but when I come to people and I'm looking for help, it's like I actually need help. Like, I'm not just going there and saying, like, I don't know. Like, I obviously restarted it first. Like, that's just, I don't know. Anyways, long story short, I got that all squared away. That wasn't a very entertaining story, but, it was just annoying to me. Like, they were being so rude to me about it. I was like, chill. But, yeah, I guess it's all figured out now. It's all good, but that was just annoying. But, yeah, like, on the topic of school, it has been amazing. It really, like, I honestly love it so much. I love my classmates. It's really fun to be by like-minded people, and it really reaffirms my love for interior design. Like, I don't know, I thought maybe I'd be overworked by doing this channel and doing interior design too, but it made me honestly love it even more, and it's really fun to do. But one thing I have a problem with is my drawing class. It's not like you have to learn how to draw to be an interior design. Like not super good, but something, you know, just a little, you have to have a little background in it, and like you want to know some good design things. And I just don't really like the class, although the class is graded mostly on self-improvement, so like you're not going to be graded on like, I guess, like the super best artist in the world, but you know, it's like self-improvement based, which is obviously very nice. But to begin with, I'm not a very good drawer, but I've learned a lot, and I think it's really nice. Like in my art class thing, we have been, like lately we've been doing like colored pencil, like learning how, like hand lettering and all these different things, like how to like different mediums, I guess, in art. And I don't really like any of them. I was kind of like, yeah, it's fun. I like drawing, but they just like never looked good, you know? I never figured it out. Like no matter how often I tried or, you know, whatever, could never figure it out. But this last week we've been doing marker, which is so fun. Like we use like these alcohol-based markers, which make it kind of like a watercolor look, and I love it. Like it looks so good. And like normally I wouldn't really like do a ton of things outside of class. Like if we get assigned to like draw a chair in a pencil or draw a chair in colored pencil, like I would probably draw a chair, call it done, maybe a few times to like see if it looks better, you know, whatever. But I've actually like found it really fun to just sit there, and I'll like, look up a piece of furniture or whatever, a texture piece, and I'll just like draw on it, and it's really fun. Like you just do it like a lot, and I found a lot of like fun in that. So that has been really nice. But this is something I just thought of that super embarrassing. But one time, okay, so a while ago we had to draw like the sofa in my drawing class, and for like our homework, and I spent all this time like sketching it, drawing it, you know, all in pencil because like I want to get the base layout, and then I was gonna go over with a colored pencil and, you know, color it and shade it and whatever. So I finally got like all this sketching done for this couch. It's not like that big, but it's just, you know, unfortunate, okay? Like it's not that big. So I finally like, you know, get the good base of the sketch done, and I start coloring it, and I got a good layer color, you know, it was pretty good. Everything was going pretty well. And then I like added another color because you need to have a little shading, and it was a different color but a different shade, but I didn't like test it on a scratch piece of paper first, so it was kind of like my fault. So I don't know, I guess it's a learning moment for me. So I just like drew on it, and it wasn't the right color I wanted. I thought it was like too not, it's like not in the right color. It was just like too orange, and I was gonna go for something more muted orange, and it kind of clashed with what the background color looked like. And I was already so far along at this point, and my brain is so used to BLOXBURG, and just like it gets anything online, like any kind of program you're doing online, you have an undo button. And I was sitting there and like, oh shoot, that is terrible. I want to get rid of that. Undo. And I was like, there's no undo button in real life. Like you can't just undo it. And obviously colored pencil is a lot harder to erase, and like you can't really erase colored pencil. Like you're gonna have to like kind of start from scratch. So that was really annoying. But I've noticed that I do that a lot. Like whenever I'm doing any type of drawing and I accidentally make a wrong stroke or whatever, it's just doesn't turn out how I want it to, I'm like, oh, undo it. I'm like, nope, can't do that in real life. Like you can't just undo that, which is really annoying, which is why I kind of like digital stuff better. But I think there's a lot of benefits to drawing and like hand drawing stuff. It's kind of fun, and I'm learning to love it because it is really fun, especially markers, like I said earlier. But yeah, I guess that's a little funny story. I don't know if anyone else has experience like that, where it's like, I don't know, like in my head, I just always think about undoing stuff, but I can't because you're not in a video game and you can't just like undo stuff. But yeah, that was funny. So like I'm hoping that as my semester is coming to an end soon, that hopefully it's not as chaotic, or like we don't have a ton of finals. I don't think we have a lot of finals, but I'm hoping we don't have a ton of like end of the semester like big projects that I have to be due. Like we do, I know we have a few, but like, I'm hoping it's not that bad, because that would kind of affect my build in this video and like all my channels, and I really need to like do that. I'm finally got back into this building thing, and honestly, posting a video is my biggest motivation. Like, you don't even understand how much hype I get just from posting a video. Like, feels so good. So I'm gonna come back to it and start doing a lot more on YouTube and trying to take it more seriously and balance it, but having a little bit of a creative block can make it kind of hard, but I'm always doing my best, and yeah. But yeah, with that being said, I have so many ideas in my head all the time. Like, I will never have a shortage of build ideas. It's just like a matter of actually figuring it out. Like, I have so many builds I want to do, like colonial, suburban, like I need like a ton of different styles, but big part of me is it's just like finding the right kind of vibe I want for it, and I don't trust myself a lot with when I'm building stuff. So like, I know most people, that's like, they find like a lot of inspo, they can kind of go off that right away, but for me, I have to like really like go through a lot of it and like, okay, this is how it looks, and then I'll like redo it again. So then by the time you've seen this part of like the exterior part that I'm working on right now, I've already built this probably twice, like completely, almost twice. Like, not I don't build interior like that, but like the exterior is always like the hardest part for me, and it's just kind of throws me for a loop and makes it a little harder to do stuff. But I guess this is gonna be like a little, I don't know, marketing thing, but I really like don't want to drop the ball on Christmas stuff, because this build is supposed to be like a fall build kind of, and like I know it's still considered fall, but I'm kind of behind the curve, I guess, of fall, so it's not probably like no one's gonna look for fall stuff, you know. Right now they might be looking for Christmas stuff already and stuff, and I need to get ahead of the curve, so I need to start planning my Christmas build, which is kind of early, but it's kind of not, you know, like it's kind of like you need to be ahead. Like, you don't want to post a Christmas build in July because like no one's searching for that, but you need to start posting it early, so when people search for it, they have like a new build that they want to see. And yeah, so I need to start like planning that out. I already have an idea of what I want to do with it, and like kind of I have a lot of ideas of like what kind of Christmas stuff I want to do. I was thinking of maybe doing like a colonial house, but that's kind of basic. I don't know, like, but like I feel like you look up, like, when you think of Christmas house, you always see like colonial houses, and I haven't done one, so I kind of want to do one. But let me know if you would want to see a colonial Christmas house. I'll probably ask today on my TikTok what people think about that, or what they want to see for Christmas houses and stuff. I'll probably do one Christmas one. But I want to get it done kind of early. I don't want to do it too late, because I want people to be able to watch it and enjoy it and build it for Christmas and stuff. So yeah, but in the meantime, before that video actually build it and like I post it, I still have another few videos I want to get done. I really need to like take this more seriously. I really want to, like, I'm really trying. But yeah, I've already done a lot of research for it. So yeah, that's always like so fun. It's always really fun to post. Like, my biggest motivation is posting, and like once I get this video out, I'm gonna be like super motivated to get back into like all this again. It's just so fun. I just need like a little motivation, and this can just do it for me, you know. But with that being said, I have to go finish editing this video and smooth it all over and make it look nice and stuff, and I need to upload this video to YouTube, which will take me forever. I always underestimate how long it takes to upload. Like, I think my Wi-Fi, I don't know if my Wi-Fi is slow or what, but it always takes forever. I know my videos are long, but it takes so long. And I'm gonna try to get part 2 up fairly soon. I don't want you guys to wait too long. I feel really bad because I see people like, where's part 2 in some of my videos, and I don't know, I really don't want to wait too long, so I'll probably get part 2 up, like, I don't know, pretty soon. And then it'll probably be a little slower after that, but I just want at least the exterior to be out there. And yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this build, and I will see you guys in the next voiceover. Bye! Bye!